Hello, hello, hello. This is your man Nicholas Shepard from the Shepard Family Enterprise, Business Administration, Information System Consultants. And what I'm doing right now, I'm basically going to go over some things with you that I think that you probably need to know. But basically, what I'm going to do is, for right now, I'm going to share some things with you. And the things I share with you, I think that it's going to be beneficial for not only yourself, but for everyone else that is around you. Okay. We learned a lot of different things throughout the years. And I think that based on the things we learned, we found out that there's a great need for understanding, and understanding that we don't have, we need to have. Okay, so what I've done, I've created some things. Okay, I have a video that I want to share with you first, and then just to go over my first lesson. And once I've shown you that, and then we're gonna go over our lesson plan. Okay, so what I want to do first of all, I'm gonna locate it, and then I'm gonna share it with you. And then once I share it with you, then we go into our second session where it would be the video itself. So what we're gonna do basically, we're gonna go over the lesson one, and then after we finish lesson one, we're gonna go back and we're gonna go over lesson two. And hopefully I'll be able to get done with this before it gets too late. So let me see what we're going to do first. And this particular lesson plan is basically established based on my first video that I had, and it was under state of awareness. And it was pretty much centered on um, helping or creating an economic base, right, for uh, um, Africa, right? So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to play this as soon as I can find it, and once I play it, then we can continue on and go from there. So, let me find it first. Then I'm gonna play it. I want you to listen to it, and so I need to make sure that it's being shown on the screen first before I actually load it. But hold on. Let's do it this way. Go to screen share and let's see, bring this over. So make sure our screen is being seen, and we're gonna play it, and hopefully it captures this. Greetings. Um, this is your man Nicholas Shepard of the Shepard Family Enterprise Business Administration Information System Consultants. And what I've done is I constructed some type of ideal. Okay, now this is my own opinion about mapping Africa's natural resources and its relationship to its currency. And the reason why I created this lesson is to give some people, not everyone, but some people, some type of ideal why Africa's economics, financial structure is the way it is, and how it became what it is today. And the reason why I'm saying this is because of the fact that I've noticed that the in Nigeria, right, the naira compared to United States or Europe's currency is so low, it's impossible for them to compete with us. Now, what I've learned in the past is that, and up to this point, is that all the resources that we incur into this country, most of the resources are obtained in Africa. And what I want to do is explain to everyone my version of an uncomplicated example of currency and why it was created. Okay. So in this here, you may have questions, anything like that, or you can research information and get more into it. But once the video's completed, I'll go back into the session and find out exactly, do a recap. Okay. All right. So let's get started. Okay, so that was that. And what I'm going to do now, we're going to go over the this screen share. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to go through this on then I'm going to go back and explain it to you. So we're going to do first, I'm just going to go through it and then I'll explain it. I'll go back and explain it later. And I'm gonna try to talk through it a little bit, but this is gonna be pretty quick, and then I'm gonna go back over it, and then we can discuss it because I have some pictures and everything like that, so we can go over. All right. So take note of the country and the different, I mean, and the continent, different regions, and all the resources. That's gonna be very important in our discussion. You see, I'll be using multiple references from websites and books and letters and maps spanning from hundreds of years. Okay. And take note of the different regions and continents. We'll be going over that as well. You can always pause this video so you can read through that. We have a link down here below that you can actually go to verify a lot of this information. And we're going to be going through the different continents and talking about the different regions and where the resources are coming from. But our primary focus is going to be Africa. And as you see here, how Africa is dwarfed, has dwarfed all the other continents, right? So what you see in most cases, you always see a distorted view of Africa compared to other continents, whereas Africa is very large. And here you can get an idea based on this diagram here, how they have distorted all the other continents compared to Africa, as you can see here. This is the distorted view. This is the correct view. This is the distorted view. This is the correct view of the continents. And this is a diagram of the continent of Asia, and Europe, and part of the Mediterranean landscape. And as you see here, each one of these different areas are on plates, okay, and it kind of and as you can see here, African plate is pretty large, right? And the reason why this is being shown because there has been a conflict with Saudi Arabia or this particular region the state is trying to make it look like they're not Africa. They said the Middle East, but they want to find out, where is it? Is it Middle East from where? And they're like, this is, it's impossible. Okay, so they said this, that's something they made up, um, which I will go over that with other videos with you. And take note of this region. This is not what we're going to be actually getting off into, but I wanted you to see this so that when we start talking about Africa and Europe itself, we're going to be focusing on this area, this region right here. Okay, is where most of the Europeans migrated to, because everyone's basically near the water when they migrated over. And these are the different countries over here. So just take note of these different things and look at the land mass. All right. And a lot of this land mass that you see here is not even populated. All right. And this is the area that we actually going to focus on. These are the areas that most of the wars were actually centered at. And you can tell, like, if you look at these regions here, which basically is populated with a lot of different people, a few of these like Portugal, Ireland, they was at war. Okay, no, they was at war. So what happened is that you had a lot of these individuals, like Portugal. They went over to the Americas and Spain. These are the areas that went over to the Africa and started to colonize the different areas over there. Okay. Africa, the second largest landmass in the continent of Africa. Okay, the second largest landmass is the continent of Africa. The second largest, okay, in the world. And we want to focus on for the, because when I get off into my other discussions, you have these five regions of Africa, okay? And I want you to take note of these different regions, okay? Because as I get off into my later lessons, we're going to go more into the details of these different areas and what the natural resources are in these areas. But before we get there, I would like to focus on, Europe, okay, and their regions and how they migrated from there and came here. Okay, and this is North Africa, and excuse me, I'll make sure I said that right. Okay, yes, this is North Africa, and the reason why I'm going to show you these different countries so that you get an idea what these countries are. Some of us don't even know these countries at all, but that's the reason why I have this video so that you can have a visual look at these regions. And then as we go on and after I finish these different discussions and these training lessons, you'll be able to um, tell someone about what countries are in each region in Africa. Okay. And as we get on, you better tell them at least about a little bit of what's going on there, the natural resources, the people, and everything like that. But that's, like I said, that's in later lessons. The next region is West Africa. And as you see here, This is West Africa. And again, like I explained to you before, just take note of these different things. You can pause this video and then do a little research in these areas, okay? Find out what the resources are, okay? And what resources are being extracted from these areas and being used. And people are making millions and millions of dollars, okay, from the resources being extracted from these areas. And then we have East Africa. And again, these are the countries in East Africa. Learn about these areas. Learn about the resources in these areas. Okay, this is Africa, East Africa. And Central Africa. Again, like I explained, learn these different regions. Find out what resources are coming out of these regions. Okay, find a little bit more history about these areas. Okay, what wars been going on and the reason why these wars were taking place in these regions. And a lot of these wars in Africa is based on, stem from colonization, from people or Europeans coming from Europe coming over, trying to colonize these areas and pitting that, the different tribes against each other. They did the same thing with the Indians. Here we have South Africa. Now, South Africa is actually dominated and colonized by the Dutch, okay? And it was during the Dutch Empire. So you can learn about that and when they came over and they actually colonized what they call the New Amsterdam, which is now New York. They were the first ones that came out and colonized the Americas, and then the British and English and the French came afterwards. And again, learn about these different areas, um, regions within South Africa, which is very important. Okay, and that's the reason why the Dutch they grabbed this area. Okay, now they said that when they went there was no one there, which I have a video that talks about that. There's a debate about that, but that's in later lessons. Now we have the Americas. See, they are separate content masses. See that? Siberia is part of the North America plate. And you can pause this video and then read up on these different things. Okay. You can learn more about this. Like I say, I'm just giving you this as a tutorial so that you have a visual, and then you can go out on the internet and you can learn about these different things. I'm gonna have lessons about these different regions, but my focus is going to be Africa and its resources, okay? But I just want you to understand what's going on as far as the land mass and things like that. We're not gonna get off into the people or anything like that. We're gonna focus on Africa, but I just want you to get a world view of what's going on, okay? Now, this is the way America looked before the Europeans came in and when the Native Americans, or should I say the ancient Africans came through this, and then they lived in this region. They said there was nothing here. They said, well, savages here and everything like that. But you understand, the Native Americans, they had a natural way of living. That was the way they was living. That's the way they felt that the God that they were serving, which is a God we serve, there's only one God, and I don't care what God you pray to, only one God is hearing it. These Native Americans, they were living here, okay, and it was millions of them, like, millions of them living there, but they were all wiped out, okay, by Europeans that wanted this land because of the wars that was going on in their country. All right, and then we'll take a look at that as well. Again, this is the areas that a lot of Native Americans live. And as you see here, this was the New Amsterdam, which was owned and controlled by the Dutch during the Dutch Empire. These were the English colony. These were the only areas that Europeans lived. Okay, and then you had the French, which they lived in these regions, but that was more up in Canada, right? And actually, the Revolutionary War and the Civil War is based on the occupation of these areas. Okay, and again, this is the whole region before the Americans actually came in. Okay, again, you can learn about these different areas as well. Okay, but this is not going to be our primary focus, even though we know that there are a lot of resources in this region as well, a lot of minerals and stuff like that that's been extracted out of these areas, and and a lot of indigenous people here have been moved out of these areas to make way for the corporate sector and people who can extract these things. But again, us as African Americans, we can go in and we can find out what the resources are, and we can make investments. We can find out who are in these areas like that, so we can incorporate ourselves and then control a lot of these areas just like the Europeans have done. And that is what the Shepherd Family Enterprise Business Administration Information System Consultants is all about, is creating a conglomerate of business owners, okay, that we establish, that we run, and we control as a force, and then we can go over there with investments and then buy these things, okay, then if we have to resell them, we can double our profits. Take note of that. Africa and its countries and territories in the wars that has displaced its people in its current state. Now we're going to be going over these different things in later lessons. Okay, that's the end of this lesson. There will be other lessons after this in a later date. And I would like for you to please like my YouTube channel. I'd like for you to subscribe and share it. Also, I'd like you to click the alarm button so that if you hear any, like I said, if anyone else that you feel that need to know about this, they can know it as well. And then also, I'd like for you to click the alarm button so that you will be alerted whenever I have other videos. Okay, so I hope that you enjoy this session, this training session. We'll be going over some other things as well at a later date. I can go over a little bit more things with you, but right now we kind of like pressed for time. Again, I would like to thank you for um, coming, and I would like to thank you for um, watching our video, and hopefully later on down the line, um, we can sit back and we can, have an open discussion about what's going on. Okay. So I'm hoping this video turned out the way I wanted it to, but we'll see. All right. And thank you very much for watching. Love.